Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. The digitization of media has influenced how we consume fashion from social platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Pinterest, to name a few. These channels are highly engaging and accessible with a smartphone device. As Nigeria continues to innovate in their technology, the touch points around it do as well. Here to discuss the effects of social media and what it's had on the fashion industry is our in-house analyst, Nene and Hugo, and fashion model, Oji Okbe. Good morning, ladies.
Welcome to the morning show.
We should just dive straight into it because you should know a lot about this. You know, you're in the fashion industry, you're a model. We saw you strutting on the recently concluded Arise Fashion Week.
Yes. Yeah.
So how would you say that the digitization of the world at large has impacted the way we consume fashion?
Oh, I think it's such a positive thing, and I'm really excited about it. It's not just for fashion, like we just talked about. It's for everything. There are platforms like Everyday Africa or like the Voices of Africa, and which is really changing the narrative of just the idea that Africa is this dark country. Yeah. It's not just like publishing our weddings, our our music, our food, and everything that they publish on the media platform, social media platform, is really to create this positive light for Africa. So yeah, I think it's just a great thing so far. I mean, for the fashion industry, I personally, I'm not like a social media person. I do it once in a while, but I see like the influence of just designers, like, coming alive with their art and craft, and everyone's just excited about it. Yeah.
I agree. I think that telling that narrative has been very important. Through social media. Oftentimes, you go online and just see things like news articles, whereas now I can take a photo with OG now, post what we have on, and somebody can immediately go to that designer's page.
Right.
It's no more like going online or asking a friend about things. You can just go on Instagram or or Facebook to like do your research, as you would say.
Yeah. Do you think, because I know that fashion used to be growing up, especially like I'll look at Victoria Beckham and I'll be like, oh my God, like she's so fashionable, and that was something people actively sought. Like you'd go out of your way to look for fashion, but like you just said, now fashion is right there. It's at your fingertips. Do you think this makes fashion less, prestigious as it used to be?
No, I mean, I think it just creates the whole buzz. It makes people want to appreciate fashion, and just people that are not so fashionable learn how to be fashionable and just,
And it's very much more accessible now.
Right.
So before you had to have maybe fashionable friends, or you had to be able to shop, because like in Nigeria, we don't really have a high street where there are different stores.
Right.
Now you can see your favorite social media influencers wearing a particular outfit, and what happens is you click on it and Bob's your uncle. You have exactly where the outfit was from, and you can go on there and find out the price and see if it works for you.
And shopping online too is like becoming really the trend now in Africa, like we were discussing earlier. And people can just like click on a page, buy a T-shirt or whatever top that they see, which is like not really we're not accustomed to that, right? People like me, I'd like to be fitted because of my, but now you can just like click and say, hey, I think this is, I fitted this, and I could just buy it again, online. So
I think there's a little bit of a discourse with designers, keying into social media, because again, these designers are like, this is an extension of myself. I want to be very careful on who sees it and when they see it. So you go to a fashion show in New York now, people are, streaming on their phone. That collection will immediately be picked up by Zara, Boohoo, all these,
smaller high street.
All these smaller, like, boutique, or, Zara is actually a quite large company, but they will pick up their fashion. So I think social media has also dictated the way in which people put out their collections and their lines, just because it's so in the moment. There's no privacy involved in that anymore.
True. True. It just reminds me of Devil Wears Prada, the movie. I remember when what's her name now? The tough-looking woman. Anyway, Devil Wears Prada.
I was in it, by the way. I was like Waka Pass. No, but I was on set for a whole month, really. I was like one of the models.
That's amazing.
That was Anne Hathaway?
Yes, Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
She was Anna Wintour. She played Anna Wintour, yes.
So she said something about, like, when the photos come off the runway of, like, the Dolce & Gabbanas and the Louis Vuittons, then the Zaras and the H&Ms and the Forever 21s pick it up. So she was just talking about how that dictates what the masses wear. So we shouldn't, like, stick out our nose or stick up our noses to the high street fashion. But now let's talk about, like, social media and modeling. So there've been models who've been picked off social media. And I know initially it irritated a few supermodels who thought, like, they go for castings, you know, they're the ones on the streets, and then a pretty girl just takes a picture, posts it on social media, and all of a sudden she's like the new thing. So we have, for example, Iman. She was actually at the Arise Fashion Week. She was scouted off Instagram, off social media. So as a model who's trotted the runways of so many fashion shows, you know, you've gone to castings, you've done all of that. How does it make you feel?
It's great. Everything is great. Everything's evolving. Like right now, I really don't have to go to castings, you know, because I could just, you know, send my things digitally. Unlike before, those days we had to, like, really go in with our portfolios. Of course, we still do that now, but, you know, everything's so digital now. You could cast on FaceTime, on WhatsApp, on things like that. So it's great. The social media platform, I mean, I don't know what supermodel will be irritated once you're a supermodel. You're a supermodel. It makes no difference. Like, you can't take that personally. But it's great. I mean, it's a great thing that it's happening, and, you know, it's all positive. There's no negative.
That waters down the industry?
No, it just increases it.
I
mean, how does it... In what way? I don't know.
I think, you know, it increases the competition because now it's no longer, you know, you have to be very savvy in the way you approach people and the way you, like, you know, show your craft.
And, you know, like, now it's different. Like, the types of models that are coming out now, you can't really find that, like, without this social media.
Because what social media...
It's not inclusive.
Yes, very inclusive. What social media has done is
it's amazing.
What the meaning of pretty or attractive or whatever you're looking for in a model was. And now we have models who are very dark-skinned. We have models who look a certain way. Like, so we have a lot of models that, like, look emo. There's different people from different subcultures that are now being selected and looked at. Rihanna uses a lot of them in her different collections. With Puma. So it's really, I think it's
all positive.
Encouraging inclusivity, and at the same time, I'm wondering the supermodel that said that.
I'd love to hear.
I mean, because you would have to be really, what's the word? You'd have to be very confident in yourself.
Yeah, you'd have to be confident.
I don't see an issue.
That interview talked about social media models. He also talked about the use of celebrities on the magazines, on the cover of magazines, because before, again, it used to be just models.
Hey,
now
listen,
it's celebrities. So that
let me tell you, you've earned your stripe. If you're able to prove yourself on the social media platform, you deserve it. Like, if you don't think that you can go online and post yourself and become famous, then, you know, so be it. I mean, those models are like, what the hell is this woman doing? Like, why is she dancing so much? But now she's an influencer. She wrote a book, and she's, like, really encouraging people. And if you're not able to follow the trend, then you're just never going to understand the evolution of social media.
And I'm curious to see what you think.
About IG.
You've been quiet.
You know, I was a little... Okay, so I was one of those people who's like, you know, models have been through so much in this industry, so to see, like, Instagram models popping up and, more importantly, getting covers, I'm like, okay, this is a little off. But at the same time, like you said, times are changing. You know, we're in an age where you have to go with the flow. If you're not, like you said, you get left behind. And it has provided access, not just for models, but the people that are seeking out, you know, like producers, photographers. They're connecting in different ways that they could never have done before, you know. So I think it's a good thing. It is a good thing. It's happening anyway, so you have to get used to it.
And also, let's not take away from the models on IG as well, because it's not like they just wake up and then they just take a pretty picture. It actually doesn't work like that. They do a lot of photo shoots. They do have to, you know, actually model to actually look good. So you wouldn't just see a model just appear. The quality of your content also has to be good.
Correct.
And that actually takes work in itself, and also
Correct.
building your following as well. It's not
Correct.
cheap. You don't just take random pictures. It's actually very calculated. So
Correct.
give them some credit as well. But at the same time, times are evolving, and this is what the times are saying now.
Right.
So I don't expect anyone to just say, oh, well, the models but before suffered, let me try and like suffer as well to show that really, that's not really how
it's
you
also
show
the
who
same
you are.
type of suffering.
Exactly.
Like, it's really not like
it's on a
suffering.
different
It's just
level.
a different type, a different time, different genre.
But that's another topic.
And she too, I mean, she's privileged, but at the same time, she has to pay.
She has to work. She has
A lot of work since she was a baby. Like, we can't take that
Before we
away.
go on a quick break, let's talk on social media and pushing African fashion to the world.
Yeah.
I think that's something we'll all agree with. Like, social media has helped
That narrative.
with our fashion. You know, like we have our stuff out there. The whole world knows who we are to an extent.
And that's thanks to a lot of the fashion shows that we've been doing here.
Exactly.
The Lagos Fashion Week is
Bring
like
people to the
completely
continent to see
amazing.
what's going on, experience the fashion, and then export it out. I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah. So we all agree. Social media is positive.
Completely
and it helps
positive.
do fashion.
It's a thumbs up for everything that we're doing.
Okay. We're taking a quick break, but stay tuned as the panel continues. And this time, we'll be discussing fashion and e-commerce. Don't go away. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Now, most recently, globally, the heightened interest for African-inspired garments have led to an increase in sales for select African designers and brands. We've seen the styles on the likes of international greats such as Beyoncé, Michelle Obama, and Rihanna. The potential is clear for the industry, and it has given way for e-commerce fashion platforms spearheaded by Africans to thrive and cater to the global needs and provide an avenue for upcoming brands. We have seen companies such as Fashpa.com take advantage of the open market. Ladies, welcome back to the morning show. Now, how do you think e-commerce has dictated how you purchase your clothes? Let's start with you, Nena.
Well, funny enough, I haven't utilized our e-commerce platforms for clothing purchases, but I have, purchased things from Conga, things like that. Right. But I think it's it makes me a little apprehensive. I'm not gonna lie, because clothing is something that I like to see in person. Yeah. Whereas when I'm shopping online for like a blow-up mattress, I know what I'm going to get. Like, I've seen those scary stories where people are like, oh, I got this in the mail and it didn't turn out what it needs to be.
This is what I ordered and this is what I got.
But from what it seems like, it's growing in a way that it's something that I have to key into. It's more convenient. It's accessible. I can just go on my phone and order. It's just building that trust, which is something I'm still.
Oh, gee.
No, I totally agree with her. Like, completely. Like,
you need to see what.
I have to see what my proportions are very
different.
I like that. But it's hard for me to find things, like even if I were in a store. So, I mean, it's great. Like I said earlier, if you've shopped before, I mean, if you know exactly what you want, it's a great thing. Yeah. So Fashpa is the company that brings in like the, clothing from Stella McCartney and all of those foreign brands in the shop.
Not anymore.
They used to stock on that platform, but now they're their own labels. So
they actually manufacture here.
Oh, their own labels. I see.
The whole supply.
Okay, great.
So for me, I think with online like shopping for clothes, I would get the generic things, like a T-shirt.
Yes.
I know, okay, medium.
Yes.
I want something printed on it. I want it to say, whatever. I will order that online. But for certain things, I'm with you as well. I'm not really like an online shopper.
I would say I have shopped online quite a few times, and for essentials as well. But then I haven't had any issues so far. I mean, the only thing is sometimes the size 8 and 10 does waver in Nigeria, between sizes, But the experience hasn't been that bad, because sometimes you would think, oh gosh, what's going to happen? When am I going to get my delivery and things like that? Yeah. But it's actually been really smooth with most of the online stores that I've shopped with, like Things Nigerians Love, TNL, but they're now based in Dubai, I believe. So maybe that
What about like
contributes.
Jumia? And
no, I don't shop on those platforms.
No, not
for clothes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jumia, I think, is like helping build that, like, for me, that trust where this can actually like come to my place and it'll be safe. And
but for clothes, it's almost like for me, it seems like I'm shopping on Amazon for clothes.
Yeah, people shop on Amazon.
I know, but then I wouldn't shop on Amazon for clothes. I just go to ASOS. I don't know if you know what I mean. Something that's dedicated to fashion, because I don't really feel like
Trust.
it's the trust as well.
Yes,
Because if you're trying to get something that's pretty expensive, then you end up on getting something that's like the Nigerian jersey, for example.
Yeah.
Where would you buy that?
On Nike.
On Nike.com.
Not on Amazon? I can buy it on Amazon. Like,
somebody is reselling, but how can you tell the authenticity of the brand?
because it's Amazon. I don't know if Jimmy is.
Yeah, but they actually also, I've ordered some stuff there, and it's just like, wait, this is not original.
Really?
Yeah, from makeup
So I don't shop online, so I wouldn't know. Like, so
Exactly.
it's. I thought.
But before we wrap up the show, do you think this is an industry that can thrive in Nigeria?
Definitely.
Data issues, power issues, trust issues, trust issues. Do you think this will thrive?
I think it can. It's just like we have to like continue to teach and nurture the market to, you know, go online and, you know, have these brands, these companies provide good service. At the end of the day, that's all we want. Good service and good products.
Right, amazing.
It's just a process like everything. I think it would. Absolutely,
Yeah, it's just, and also the structure as well. And it's much better than having a shop, a store, a physical store, if you can actually have an online portal where your customers can actually just go on and shop. It's easier for these designers. So it would make sense if it does, if we all work together and trust all the other things we've mentioned today.
Exactly. It's been amazing talking to you. We should do this again.
Yeah, nice fashion.
You were amazing. And I will see you every day, but you were amazing still.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you so much for watching. From the entire morning show team here in Lagos, all that's left to say is enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day.
Goodbye.